week 3.
Week
3 did not disappoint. We
Well,
it
didn't disappoint.
It just didn't disappoint for some, but as fans of fantasy, intensity, it did not disappoint. It made it a hell of a week. Monday we had 2 comeback attempts, 2 bids, 1 fell short, 1 did not. We will get into that later.
Yeah.
But first things first, let's get to the one that was settled early. Brandon and Cole, it was all done on a Sunday. Cole ended up taking this one 125.5 to 113 from Brandon. Brandon's been putting up good totals, just
steady incline from
Brandon. He hasn't played the Tove level opponents to get lucky. But
we'll get there.
He'll hopefully he will get there, and justice will be served. But Brandon, he's at 1-2 now. But overall, good performance. You can't really complain too much about anything he had. I mean,
he had a very consistent outing from his top 3. Looks like Stafford, Crowell, and Elliott. I'm honest when I say that I expected a little bit more out of Elliott earlier this year.
They haven't been making Zeke
Dallas is kind of struggling
as much of a. Well, he's always a focus, but he just hasn't been doing what he usually does, which is just.
It seems to be when teams like Dallas get rid of their passing attack, it's going to limit the run. It just happens that way. They don't have enough to spread it out.
But Cole can't complain with what Cole's doing. He has a strong team. You can see in the power rankings. He's up there on the top. He's number 4. Looking real salty.
A good squad,
He's got a good one. Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley.
Career game. He explodes. He unseats Mohamed Sanu as the number 2 in Atlanta with that performance, and that's just hands down. That's not even close. But
shipped out.
Right, you can say that again. But other than that, he had Adrian Peterson, Boomer Sooner, looking good again. Proud of what he's been doing this year.
The old man still can run.
He's finding a resurgence in Washington and is helping out our man Cole. And, that breaks it down. That's pretty much all you got with that one. Cole overwhelms Brandon, takes it by 12.5. But, good
fight,
one.
Gentlemen.
I appreciate both of them. It was a great go. Great go.
Great go. Putting over the 100-point mark. Can't knock it any week.
Let's get a hello from Perry, of course. Weekly hello. What's up, Perry?
You disappointed Perry, Trevor.
Perry is
disappointed
pissed at Trevor. Me and him discussed. Thought we got a player that
he contemplated not being on the broadcast with us tonight because of you.
All right, let's jump into this next one. It was what we define in the business as absolute fucking hell. Even for both. Mason got the win. He's 3-0. But when you play an opponent as inept as what he saw this week, is there joy in that win? Maybe yes, because it's over Tove. I understand that, but
according to Tove, all you got to do is score more.
Yeah, Tove is shooting. Tove is shooting for an average of 105 a week.
Brilliant. It is
or at least that's what he's satisfied with in this league. Although I don't think we've had a score under that, except for him and his 53.5 putridness. But that's beside the point. Other than that, he was very. Did anyone score?
He was very reminiscent of the Cardinals in Week 2 when they barely crossed the 50.
That's so true.
He barely crossed the 50.
Speaking of Cardinals, his only guy I think in double digits, David Johnson, kind of showed up.
And we're all going to read the comments in this video train about how no one showed up for you, yada, yada, yada.
And how it's not his fault either. It's not his fault because, he didn't tell him to play like shit. Well, listen up, meat and tater. You may not have told them to play the way they played. But one man takes that fucking lineup. One man. I take responsibility for it every week. I've gone 2-11 in this league, and guess what? I owned every second. Take some responsibility. Have some balls. I know it's hard to find, but dig down deep. Find those raisins. Pry them out of whatever fucking cobwebbed up fucking mess you have them in, and use them. This week, so help me God, if I don't see any more than 100 points, I will motion to have you kicked out of this league, and you will bring us food as a non-member.
Let's give
and
some
we
grace.
will hold
Let's
you.
go for 80. Let's just let me know.
80.
Yeah, 80.
I will shoot as low as 100 because that's what you have to aim for. There is no 80. I appreciate his compromise.
I'm just trying to compromise.
I appreciate his compromise, but this is a man's league. This is a man's league. Do you see any other scores under fucking 100? 100. I can look through his whole thing, and no one here is satisfied with 105. 105. He told I averaged 105. Unless you're averaging 150 you're not averaging enough. The goal for the next week is more.
More. Mas.
And in this case, Trevor, you should be looking to triple this putrid bullshit.
Okay. All right.
But Mason,
we're fired up about it.
You did good. Patrick Mahomes is a great pick.
Yes.
24 points. 24 points.
Mason, kudos to you, sir.
He had a little fantasy Nostradamus.
You had the guts, the audacity to make that pick.
He had a fantasy
where some of us did not. So
it was a good one.
Paying off.
Mason's made some good picks. Adam Thielen contributing a solid 17. Those are his 2 leading scorers. But the main meat of this game, Cutler's Cardio 106.5, Tenacious Toves, renamed Morgan's Daddy. I guess
Jordy Nelson on the bench.
Jordy Nelson was on Mason's bench. It would have been a real beating if that was the case.
He did that all.
But Tenacious Toves, whatever the fuck you want to call him, 53.5. Not worth mentioning. We will move on from that.
Get better, Tove.
Get better.
Game 3.
All right, Game 3. We're here, Dakota versus Zach. We have one team on the ascent and one team on the not-so-ascent. That would be the opposite.
Dakota's still in the, if you're on a roller coaster, the anticipation's building for him right now. He hasn't even started the climb.
He's at 0-3, and in a 13-game season, I know he still has a good shot at playoffs. He can obviously rattle off big winning streaks. He's done it before. But in this league, you're presented with a very unique scenario with the 16 playoff. You can earn yourself a bye, which gives you 1 week of no stress in the middle of the season.
That's very true.
And that is nice, and that's what we're all fighting for, is those 2 spots. And Dakota's road has gotten significantly more difficult now with 0-3.
Yeah.
But honestly, he just has so much unanswered.
Yeah. And
Mark Ingram he could come out and he could light the world on fire.
Yeah.
You have Julian Edelman, who I believe is going to light the world on fire, seeing as though Brady is just dwindling on receiving options. But
rough go.
He did pick up the Ryan Fitzpatrick. That was a nice stream play. We'll see if he continues to be the starter in Tampa Bay. He has Aaron Rodgers on the bench, but A-Rod's health, it's a little questionable.
He seems to be struggling with some weaponry.
It's just a little bit questionable right now, I think, with his health. But
just to touch base, Dakota's really one breaking news away from being right back into contending spots. I mean, if we can figure out something with Le'Veon, that's just a bullshit situation.
Yes, he's also, the Jets have inquired, so that would make it an interesting move.
So
if he did get moved, it would make it interesting.
And that's, we all know what Dakota's struggling with. That being said, let's move on to Zach and give some credit where it's due.
He played well.
Zach
fielded a good team, scored some good points.
Lineup.
He is up there. He's number 2.
Yep.
But he's up there. Mike Evans. Big game on Monday night, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans seems to be back.
Looking real good. Looking real good.
And unfortunately, that's just what cuffed Dakota a little bit, picking up Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, it played against him. We've seen that strategy twice this week.
I've lived it. So,
also,
I want to make a little note here of the audacity. Zach, Nelson Aguilar rewarded you with a big performance in the flex spot last week, and then he
benches him.
It wasn't a bad move, of course. He had 4, so good foresight. But a ballsy move. You got a little momentum in your corner, buddy.
I like how he's making it work. Looking real fresh with his lineup changes.
Yeah, he's being a good GM.
He's making the.
He's on the waiver wires right ahead of me.
Right.
Snagged Corey Clement. I was looking for a little gem, maybe a little trading piece, and he outbid me. So
he threw up a nice number for him.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
but he's 3-0.
3-0.
He is 3-0. One of 3 teams still at that record.
Yeah,
and looking solid.
Yeah.
He
I
showed up every week.
Zach might be.
And he takes him down.
It's Zach Mason and refresh me. Who's the other 3-0?
That would be me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you forgot. You saw it all weekend.
Yeah.
But Tebow's before Hose, 119. Le'Veon La Vida Loca, 105.5. Wasn't enough on Dakota's end, but help was on the way. This is the last week of his heavy-duty suspensions.
Yes.
Luckily,
hang in there, partner.
Luckily, that's what I have to deal with on my one time this season. Thank you, God, right before the suspensions go up. But
hey, we'll take it.
I have no doubt that he'll make it interesting. It's just going to be a tough road to hoe. But if anyone can hoe it, Dakota's that hoe to hoe it.
You hoe.
You hoe.
Good job, Zach. Hang in there, bro. I look forward to seeing you again later in the year, my man. I'm not satisfied. Just jokes.
Jokes. I actually spelled that right on the fly.
Speaking of not jokes, this was a serious game.
There were no jokes in this matchup. David and Colin did not get Game of the Week honors, but that's because you had two absolute wars on the other end. But this game and any other week could be considered a Game of the Week.
It had very much
easily.
Potential, yes.
David, he got in the win column, 1 and 2, gets himself there. But
welcome, Dave.
Did it take some time and did it take a little bit of sweating to get it out? I mean,
he earned it.
Colin started the night at 72 points and damn near brought it all the way back.
That's a big deficit.
Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger stack on Monday night was scaring the bejesus out of me.
It was exciting for us.
They were one catch from this changing the whole thing. One catch. Zach mentioned it on the Facebook that the Big Ben to AB touchdown almost felt like you could. It was tangible. You could feel it.
Every play.
It didn't happen. It was an amazing game. I mean, you had big performances. David had
Saquon.
David had Saquon Barkley, who
I may or may
not
not
up to his rookie.
I may or may not be regretting giving up a little bit of that first spot.
Yeah, that one might come back to bite you, but
you throw it out there and you see what happens.
But like we said with Colin, the Big Ben AB stack, Big Ben with 24, AB compliments, beautiful, beautiful game. A lot of drama to it, a lot of sweating it out.
I've honestly been waiting for Chris Carson to pop off the way he did. He finally goes over the 100-yard mark.
Chris Carson.
And a TD.
Chris Carson he's
got a lot of potential.
Yeah, they've been trying to make him the man for a couple of years now, and it looks like he may be ready to take that role. And
I loathe Seattle.
Seattle's offensive line actually moved people. I am impressed. They ran an offense.
That's about as much as I'm going to say nice about Seattle.
I can understand that. But Large Lives Matter, 120. Big O TDs, 110. Good game.
Colin, we wanted to see it, buddy.
We were all waiting to see it.
Not at David's expense, but we wanted to see it.
No one wants to see David cry, but we all love to see good comebacks. I mean, you can't get enough of them. But like I said, David holds on, gets in the win column. He's going to look to push himself back into the playoff and the hunt for the top 6. But we'll see what he brings to the table. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Colin, get yourself in the win column, buddy.
Game 5. We have 2 games of the week this week. This is the first one. Yeah. Jamin comes back on Monday night. O.J. Howard with the game-winning catch. And then they pour on a little more just to, make sure they clear it up and they win by 2. But 108.5 to 106.5, the Inglorious Bradfords take it from hanging with Hernandez. These men are cousins and had to go through this war. Their family holidays, when they see each other, could get real dicey. Jamin, luckily, is the winner because he is the aggressor, and I don't want to piss off Jamin dealing with a kind, happy Austin. That just does not look good to me. But in this case, you're going to have Austin's anger just bubbling at Jamin. And if this leads to a rematch, family ties might be cut. We might see these men never speak.
They might have to take a family hiatus.
They might have to take a family hiatus.
Football season.
But honestly, the biggest problem I can find with Austin's team is his running backs. He just consistently cannot find the performances. Phillip Lindsay, threw the punch, gets booted, only scores him 2 points. Yeah. I mean, just not enough coming from that position group. And sadly, Dalvin Cook, nowhere to be found. He was on the IR. Just
risky business.
Just could not get over that hump. And Jamin, let's not take anything from him. He came to play. Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey, another QB RB stack, a really solid one. He put it together.
Love that.
O.J. Howard, his trade, you're welcome. But his trade ends up getting him big dividends. I mean, pays off big for him. It gets him those points, those necessary 2 points to take
squeak by
the comeback. It was a good one. It was a good one. And let's not forget this as well. Jamin, quietly 2-1.
This has everything you want in a fantasy matchup.
It really did.
I mean, fellas, thank you. Tip of the cap to both of you. Austin, I know this is the low for you.
He is 0-3.
Jamin, this is the high.
If you would have told me that this year that Trevor would be 2-1, Jamin would be 2-1, and then Dakota and Austin would be 0-3, I would have laughed.
Yeah, shit doesn't add up in
this year right now. This year it's happened. Well, I think that's just a little a nod to the competitiveness going up. Everyone's kind of finding their own, getting a little bit better. And Austin and Dakota are also dealing with some extenuating circumstances.
And as much as we like to flatter ourselves, this is a game of chance, fellas.
This is a game of chance.
We don't know what's going to happen.
It's a dice roll, but,
that's what makes it fun, And
let's not let that be Trevor's cop-out. It's no luck that you score 53.5.
There's a difference.
Let's not jump back into that. I'll get mad again.
Yeah.
But
table that one.
Great game. Inglorious Bradfords.
Great game.
By 2 over Austin, hanging with Hernandez.
A late Monday victory.
Just a beautiful, beautiful game. Beautiful game.
It's not over till it's over. Lead it off. You take the cake, sir.
6th and final game of the week. My man. It was a pleasure. It was a fun one. The 2 top scoring teams in the league for the week played in the same game. Shane gets an extremely tough luck loss.
Let's be real. Let's give credit where it's due. Putting up 150.5.
150.5. It's my second 150 per
it's going to be tough
performance this year. I feel good about that. And let's just get back to the meat of the micro dongs. When the Saints go marching in, the micro dongs will fuck you up. It's going on a t-shirt because it's happened 2 out of the first 3 weeks. He got in a shootout, went into overtime, and everything. You said it yourself. That game would not end, and it seemed like every play of that drive, there was just a half point or a point or 2. It was just consistently those 2. And then the Robert Woods performance really came back. Shane had a beautiful play, of course, of Jared Goff and Todd Gurley. But Jared Goff scored a lot of points, yes. A lot of them went to my young man Robert Woods, making it hard for him to counter. Like we said, it was the second time it happened this week. You had Mike Evans with Ryan Fitzpatrick in the Zach and Dakota matchup.
Yep.
So, it was kind of the same thing going on. But,
and honestly, it was
a good game. You can't really complain.
No,
sorry,
no complaints.
I of course can't. But just the quality of the game, everything you wanted out of it, you got. It was a lot of fun to follow. High scoring. My goodness, it seemed like every time I looked, the score went up by 10 points on each side.
I think a healthy amount of adversity is coming to my squad right now. I have health, and that's what I'm thankful for.
Yes, sir.
I'm on a steady incline with points per week.
Yeah.
I'm putting up
130.
130.
Not anything to gawk at, of course. It would have won you any other game. It is a rough.
Yeah, in this league of cutthroats, I just went against the bandsaw this week.
Yeah,
and Alvin Kamara and Drew Brees, and that doesn't knock, when you have an explosion like Robbie Woods.
When you have Robert, and he caught 2 touchdowns, and both of them there were other guys open.
Yeah. There's just a lot that goes on in a game, that happened to be the one that I focused on. You have a Brandon Cooks touchdown that gets called back, that gets put on the 1, that gives Todd Gurley a touchdown. So, without that, it could have been a whole different game. And it's just the small things inside of a game.
But honestly, it was worthy of the second game of the week.
Yes,
it gave us our first 2 game of the week.
And
it was nice.
And it wasn't. The score, I feel, is a little bit deceiving.
The score, it was a lot closer than 20 points.
You had a strong performance out of Juju, so it came into a Monday night.
He closed it up in garbage time. But overall, the slate of games.
Tyler Boyd. Let's throw that out there real quick.
It capped off a nice week. This whole week, it ended really nice on Monday night. You had following the Monday game. It was necessary for a majority of the people in the league.
Yep.
You had a lot of
activity.
A lot of exciting Monday night activity. I have 0 complaints. It was
0 complaints. All in all, sitting at 1 and 2, I got a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth, but
you'll get to see. You'll get to see if
no hard feelings on this, and I'm playing some good fantasy football. We're
gonna see if you can take Austin to 0-4.
Austin, I'm sorry, but I have a chip on my shoulder, and it might be as big as yours.
Next week, have you looked at any of the games to see which one you might think might be a game of the week candidate?
Ooh, let's.
I will give mine real quick while you.
Yeah, I'm
take a gander.
I'm going to take a quick peek here.
My guess for Game of the Week will actually involve you again.
Really?
Because I think you're going to see 2 teams at 1-2 and 0-3, neither of which have performed all that bad, and both of which can put up high point performances. I think we'll see it. Austin's going to come to play. He's spending his free agent acquisition, so that could be.
We got a lot of good matchups this week. Really, I think Zach and Jamin are about to really throw down.
I think Zach and Jamin
are having a real good game this week, and I'm just going to throw a little side piece out there too. I think. Mason, I'm not betting against you, sir. I'm not betting against you, but I think you two are in a tight match this week. Call it out, but we'll see what we can see what happens. That's not my game. I truly think Zach and Jamin might have potential for game of the week.
Zach and Jamin.
It looks like a real good matchup.
I think it is. You have two good teams. You have an undefeated against an unexpected 2-1.
2-1, strong 2-1.
It'll be fun to watch. Can't wait to see y'all again. I'll be writing. He'll be playing. We'll be recording. It's been a blast. See you week 4.